record right now. And we're recording and we're live streaming. Oh my goodness, Liz, this feels like it's been a long time coming as we, I asked people who would be interested from my Empowering You community, who would be actually interested to put up their hand and say they'd want to be a special guest. I love spotlighting, highlighting, showcasing all of the beautiful souls that I have inside of my Empowering You community. I was so excited when Liz said yes. And then all the planning, all the behind the scenes, what date's going to work and all of that. And what are we going to talk about? Because there's so many of us that are passionate on many things. So we kind of throw out a few possibilities and then let the universe kind of tell us a little bit of what people are looking for as well. So Liz, thank you from the bottom of my heart for saying yes. Thank you for stepping in even before you really knew what it was all about. You just said yes, and then you trusted in me enough to have this all work out. And I don't take that lightly. So thank you and welcome.
Hi, Debbie. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm the one who's honored, like absolutely. Like what you are doing is incredible. And stepping into this platform of recording and showcasing live and live streaming, it's like, oh, so you get, the nerves and things like that. But it's like, you know what? It's good. It means I'm growing. I'm growing from within. My confidence is growing. And that's where I'm at.
It's so true. I was just checking in Facebook land to make sure we are live streaming over there, and I am not positive. So if somebody over in Facebook land can say it, it's actually going to show up in our chat right here from YouTube or Facebook. That's how this live streaming platform works. So I'd appreciate you if you say you're live. I had a few people that were hoping to get the notifications. So I'm going to again pop over there and just make sure. Liz, help the listeners and me understand a little bit more about who is Liz and what's that essence that you bring to the table. What is that special sauce that really can help us understand who you are?
Oh, Debbie, thank you so much. Honestly, I'm someone who's just learning. I'm someone who's embracing the challenges of what it is to be someone who is learning the online world of business. And, I'm a humanitarian. I love animals. I love adventure. I love stepping outside of my comfort zone and, just embracing what comes each day. And through the people I'm connecting with, it's helping me to change, sometimes the negative narrative that lives in my head. And I've met so many amazing, beautiful people, and the blessing that's come from that is just phenomenal, seriously phenomenal, because one of my passion hobbies is mind mapping, and it's become something that I do a lot. And the reason I find mind mapping so interesting is because no matter what it is, no matter what the problem, no matter what the idea, no matter what the task, it's easy to break it down. And when you're able to break things down, suddenly a project that you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to be a year to do, suddenly you can see it right in front of you. And it's like, okay, a year is now an hour. And it's like, okay, I can see all the working pieces. I can see, is this something I need to do right now? Or is this something I can do tomorrow? But I can still see it. So it becomes a virtual map. I've been in the film industry for over 20 years, and it's fast paced because you've got to be on your toes. You can't forget things. You can't forget equipment. You can't forget bookings. If you're traveling for, a film shoot, you've got to make sure that, everything's locked in, who's doing what. And for me, when I was asked to do these things and put them together, rather than chasing sticky notes or, writing things down in bullet point form, I would create this map. And then I'd cross-check with the director and say, hey, I've got all these things. Is there anything I'm forgetting, or is there anything else that I need to, to do? Because when I mind map, I allow my brain to just think of every single thing, anything and everything, because it's when you think of everything, you're seeing the possibilities. It's the dream. It's the thinking outside the box. It's not just limited to bullet point form. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just putting things down in point form. It's like, no, I want to think of this and I want to think of that. And what about if that's a possibility? So it's like,
Mm.
I see it as a map. I see it as a web, a network.
I love that. So I heard a lot of different things there. And one of the things I heard is that you see things differently. I feel like you can see the bigger picture, and yet you want to capture that so that you can then do what ordinary people do with sticky notes and all the things. But if you had the sticky notes because you see such a big picture and all of the moving parts, it would be a bundle of sticky notes like this. So you had to come up with a different system that worked a little bit better
Exactly. So
and still kept you feeling sane. So I love that we did this title. It's Transform Your Overwhelm and Chaos into a Clarity Mindset. Now, when I first started down this journey with Tony and Dean, helping people understand what's their passion, their purpose, their online course creation, all of that stuff, the one thing I heard over and over again is, I can't narrow down. I feel like I would lose a piece of myself, or I feel like I'd be doing a disservice for all of the people. I have all these ideas and I'm frozen and not doing any of them. And so I think that's one of the things that really attracted me to you, Liz, is that you are actually providing a tool and a service to help those people.
yeah,
Nobody's saying you can't have those ideas, but let's get them down so we can simplify them, bite-sized steps, which of course is our secret to success. It's always small steps, consistent steps and actions, and not this big, overwhelming, I need to save the world thing, or I need to have 20,000 courses. What are the things I need to do today in order to get me closer to my goal of tomorrow? Did I capture that a little bit there?
absolutely. You did, because as you were talking about all the ideas, if you look at it like a funnel, you've got the funnel and all the ideas, and then it brings it down into bite-sized chunks, and that's exactly it. Yeah, it's amazing.
And I love that you said it's kind of like a funnel. So in the world of online course creation, and probably even in other people's worlds where they're using social media and email lists and stuff like that, they talk about the word funnel. And I often try to tell people that, yes, it's shaped like a funnel, but you don't need to think about it as this technical term. Think about it as, how do you nurture and gather your people? How do they find the doorway in which to find you? How do they come into your world? And those are all pieces of a funnel.
Yeah.
So I think that for me, when I seen you grab all these pieces, and by the way, guys, I actually had a mind mapping session with Liz. So the experience was absolutely beautiful. And I've given her a testimonial, and I really want to, like I said, the people that I have got inside of my Empowering You community are brilliant. They all have a unique gift and talent in their niche because they figured it out. They know who they serve, they know how they serve them. You don't have every offer figured out. Nobody's perfect. That's evolving. What the thing is this lights me up. And you can see by Liz's face that this lights her up. When
It
somebody
does.
like me comes at her with all of these big ideas, she doesn't go, oh my God, like, stop talking about all that stuff. It's crazy talk. She's like, oh, Debbie, I need to mind map for you. I need to help you get all these ideas down, brainstorm, brain dump. And then from there, we really can start to take action. So tell people what you had me do, or whatever you want to do to explain, what does it look like when somebody comes to you?
So, my sessions are always confidential because I we go deep. We literally talk about things and we actually unpack things. So it's just a cafe conversation. I'm just doing my things in the back end, which is capturing the mind map. And I do ask questions because I want you to think outside the box. So I make it as casual as possible. So as we're just sharing thoughts, sharing ideas, and sometimes, people just go on a rant, and like, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I want to do this and I want to do that. What I do is I capture it. and then I break it down visibly, like in a way that they can actually see all the layers. So, I've had some people that are writing a book and they're looking at, okay, so this is my book, but then they map out the layers, the paragraphs, the who's going to be in it, what's the book cover going to be, is it going to have graphics, the publisher, all these things. So I see it in a way that no matter what the niche, mind mapping for me is my candy. I just get all excited because I love big programs. I love big projects. I love big events. Bringing it down and saying, here you go. These are your steps for today. And you can actually see the blueprint. It's phenomenal watching people's faces when they see it.
You definitely help them make their dreams come true. And doing it in bite-sized pieces at the same time as being able to check things off so that they can celebrate and feel like they're achieving something is super important. One of the things that I recognize in a lot of entrepreneurs is that they get everything into a to-do list that never ends. And that never ending to-do list means, when do I get to celebrate? When do I feel like I have success? When can I actually feel like I've achieved what I've set out to do? And I believe that the way that you're doing it, it sets people up for success in so many ways, because it helps continue that momentum and that why, that connection, and the celebration part of it, which is we all need, whether you're a solo entrepreneur or you're somebody that's part of a big project. So can you help us understand a little bit about the mindset of what you're doing as well?
So I guess with when I'm, having a meeting with someone, I let them, because I don't capture what I say. I don't capture my thoughts. My thoughts are just there as something for you to think about. Have you thought about this, or what about that? I capture your thoughts. I capture your vision, your dream, your idea. And it's just an exchange of conversation. It's just an exchange of, because I want to give you your own blueprint. I don't want to give you mine, because that's my thoughts, my idea. And, through, like, because mind mapping is so diverse, it can be for anything or anyone. I just want people to feel that I'm their virtual assistant. They've walked into an office and they're like, Liz, I've just had a busy day, bang. And it's just a brain dump. So by them feeling that I get it and I can capture it for them, it's just so rewarding. I'll just give you a bit of background. For years, I've worked in the corporate field. So I've been an executive assistant to many CEOs, producers, directors. So I've had to be on my feet 24/7. And I'm a 70s kid. That's telling my age. But I'm a 70s kid. And growing up, I did a business course. And part of the business course was what's called shorthand. So I did shorthand, taking shorthand, the dictation kind of thing. So and I'm a touch typist, so I got really quick with hearing what my managers were saying and what board members were saying, or whoever was in the meeting. I'd have to be quick and hear the directions of where the meeting was going. So for me, it was like, okay, mind mapping was just the level up, because I can see it in one place. And yeah, being part of a world where there's people that want things quick now, it's honestly, it's a time saver. It is a time saver. And that's why I'm so passionate about it.
Yeah. So saving time, making time, leveraging time for these people with these, well, for two different versions. So the people with a lot of things happening, they got a lot of happening, and they are involved in many different projects. They need to have some type of organization for all these projects. Then we're talking about that person that I was speaking about at the beginning, where they actually won't even start because they can't see the bigger picture. They won't allow themselves, because it becomes too overwhelming to think about all of these things that they may have to do. Mm-hmm. So you're basically helping them both and all with this not only mindset, but a feeling of safety and security of like, we're not going to make you drop all those things that are on your list of things to do, or you're dreaming really big and you have these goals. We don't want to squash that energy. We actually want it to come out so that it can be expressed through you in a beautiful way. And the more you express it, the clarity and the confidence and the courage continues to like manifest and tenfold. So you're a little bit of a mindset coach. You're a little bit of a, you said, an executive assistant, and you're somebody that can see the bigger picture and pull it back down into these, like, yes, your mind mapping software helps you, but without your brain to be able to like hear the words and pop them into the places that they need to be, I don't think that the software or the system could be as magical as it is. And so I
Thank you.
want to give you credit for that, because I think that many times we have a tool that we use, and that tool in the same hands of somebody else doesn't mean that the tool was the answer, right? I can pick up a hammer. That's not means I'm not a carpenter. And so it is not just the tool, it is the brilliance and the mindset and the way, unique way in which you use that tool. So thank you for that, Liz.
Thank you. No, honestly, you know, there's just so many things to just think about, and I love brainstorming. I love brainstorming, you know, just the thought of, oh, can we do this? And oh, can we do that? And what about this? And who's doing that? And oh, wow, wait a second, does that link to this? And how much is that going to be? And what's the budget for that? And then we need to order food. We got to order food. And don't forget cake. So it becomes this place where nothing's forgotten. Nothing is forgotten.
Okay, you guys, you just witnessed how her brain works. And I get it, because mine works that way too. A lot of people say that, you know, they can't believe that I can pull the big picture in and go, exactly, here's what we need. And it's simple for me. But it comes because my brain works that way. But I also stretch my brain to an overwhelm at times where it's like, oh, I need a brain dump. I need to let go of some of this stuff that I'm holding on to. It's like, you know, geez, did I order cheese and I need it on Saturday? Like, do I need to bring that thought into a business meeting? So I want everybody that, you know, is seeing this live, if you raise your hand and think about times where you're like, yes, I can think ahead and I can do all these things. But at times it's almost makes you, number one, overwhelmed, but also like brain fogged or confused, because you actually need to let stuff out of your brain that doesn't need to be there. And for somebody like me that has ran the world of checklists and to-do lists and all, you know, all that stuff, that doesn't always work either. So this is a unique thing that you're doing. Now, I want you to have an opportunity to talk a little bit about Mastermind and some of the people that you've met within Dean's community and how you've been personally able to help some of them.
Wow, that's it. You know, I'm a visual person. So when I'm like through video work and through mind mapping, I need to hear a word and I need to associate a visual to it. So it locks it in for me. Because when I'm, for example, putting a documentary or a film together, I'm going off a script. I'm going off text, and I need to find footage, audio, dialogue, what have you, to mirror the actual script. So when I'm like, I've met and I've worked with people from the mastermind community, and it's actually interesting because people that I thought were going to have audacious ideas, like crazy, their map was quite small because they didn't allow themselves, even though as during the meeting they were really, you know, just letting it all out, and just, but it was a small map. And then there were people that were like, oh, I don't know what to do, and I've got, their map just blew, like it was crazy, because it was in the unpacking, it was in the you know, I try and make it as comfortable as possible, meaning that I just I love to laugh. That's just me. We share a joke. We sometimes laugh, cry. It's being in that moment. And with the people that I've worked with, and especially with, mastermind community, it's been incredible to see the idea, and then suddenly it's like, okay, I can launch. I'm ready to launch. I can see, okay, I need this, I need that. I need to create an automated email list here. I need to create a funnel over there. I need to do this. And suddenly it's not so overwhelming, because guess what? It's numbered. The steps are numbered. You get me? It's not this infinite amount of steps. You can break it down and go, okay, 1, 2, 3, let's do it. And yeah, it's just amazing, really, really amazing when the people I've connected with and the experience. But, one thing I am finding is that we all have common foundation, whether it's emotion, whether it's family, whether it's, the humanness of us, the who we are as people. There's so many common nuggets that, I capture, or that I hear when it's like, it's amazing. It really is amazing.
I love that. I love that you're hearing familiar things that are overlapping between your clients, even though they're coming from different areas of life. I want to go back to, it fascinated me that some people's mind maps are huge and some people's are small.
Mm.
And it felt like there was a bit of, you did say the word permission, but I also felt like there was a bit of a discovery. So if they already think that they have, like, okay, I'm thinking, well, I have all these things on my to-do list and I really don't want to speak about it, because like then it's going to be on my list and then I'd have to be committed to it and I'm not really sure. And there's almost some fear that is holding back from that level.
Mm.
But if you're in a different point of view where you really haven't given yourself permission to even start to dream yet, you're just launching your first course and you don't know what's possible after that. Now, when Liz gets a hold of you, you have permission to dream, and discovery is exciting. And so there isn't any time to go, oh, I don't know if I should do that or speak about that yet, because this is all brand new and it's just bubbling up and through you, and you're capturing it as you're having a conversation. Because I really want you guys to know that Liz just has a conversation with you. That's how easy this is, right?
Yeah.
The gift in it is that she's able to capture the words so quickly from you. And you maybe didn't even catch yourself. In fact, you could probably go back and re-listen to and go, oh, I did say that. Oh, and she's got it right here. And it's part of the right project or area of my life in which I'm very passionate about. So I think that that's super fascinating that you can just like pull it in.
Yeah.
I also want to ask you, is what's the biggest mind map you've ever seen from somebody? And did the money potential was there a connection? Was there a connection between how big the mind map is and how big the possibility of making money was?
Wow. It was actually a huge, I actually mind mapped Dean's, I think it was at the summit. I mind mapped Matthew McConaughey's The Art of Living, the 3-day event, and the maps were like, and the possibility of making that modules within modules and linking them to right coaches or right workshops. To me, it was like, okay, if this client has these things, this is where I can go to. These are the places. So to me, it just,
no, keep going with that. It totally makes sense to me. Keep going with that.
Yeah. So I was like I said, I as Dean was talking, I'm like, okay, well, that needs to go there and that should go there. And, the possibilities were endless, thinking that, if mind mapping somebody at the very beginning of any program, you can quickly see what that client needs in the first 5 minutes when you actually start then coaching them. You're not wasting time trying to get to know the client and trying to get them to reopen up about their thoughts, because you've got a blueprint. Okay, I see that you're struggling with tech. I see that you need help with mindset. I can see that you've got an idea for a book, or you're creating a course. You as a coach, you get the blueprint. You can strategically then help your client, help where they need to go. And if you
Yeah.
don't know, I'm always say, if I don't know, I will find out just to help you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So let's go down that. We're running out of time, but I want to go down that avenue. So when I ask Liz, who is her ideal client? Who is her audience that she works with? Now, we all have multiple ideal clients depending on what version, what stage we're in. So it could be the big CEO, it could be Dean, or it could be the individual coaches that are, or not individual coaches, individual people that are coming into his courses that want to create a course of their own. They're brand new. They have wisdom, they have knowledge, they have life experience, they have passion, they have purpose, but they do not know how to build a course because they think they have so much knowledge in their brain. Where do I start? How do I put it into a module? How do I do that? Or it could be somebody like me that coaches other coaches. And so let's go down that avenue, Liz. What would you do for somebody like me to be able for me to offer value to my clients?
Mm-hmm. I would basically suggest that we have an initial discovery mind map session with your client, and then it's like the client agrees that I'm there to do the mind mapping session with them. That's when I then pass that to you as a working document. Then there's the possibility of you saying, hey, my client's at the 1 month interval. I need an update of where she's up to with her project or her idea. Can we do a follow-up mind mapping session? So I capture phase 2. And then you've got 2 maps to look at, because you're in there in a position to say, hey, wait a minute, this is where you started, but look at where you're at. These are your thoughts. You can actually see, you've got a visual document. It's not just, it's something that you can work with. And that would help you to then say, okay, a month in of my coaching, I've identified that she's still struggling with tech, or she wants to work on her website. It gives you the tools to assist and help your client on a deeper level, because you're seeing through the eyes of mind mapping, like a virtual blueprint.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you for that. So if anybody is watching this and they can relate to it from, I am a coach and I would love to have another tool in my toolbox that I could like fast track my clients to success. Or if you're the client of a coach and you're like, oh, I wish my coach would use that, that would give me that kickstart for us to understand each other faster, better. So then the time we're together, we can really nail it down on what we need. And then that coach can then do their thing that they're an expert at, whether they're a business coach, a mindset coach, a emotional coach, it doesn't matter. But this tool could use for all types of coaches to really help fast track their students. Thank you for helping us understand that.
Yeah, you're welcome. And just, one of my little project that I love talking about is the undercover boss. If you're a boss and you attend meetings and you get all these reports and you get, you're overwhelmed with trying to understand really what your business is actually doing, because you've got 10 people that report to you and every report takes you time to read. As an undercover boss, let me map out your business. How many departments do you have? How many staff? What are your processes? What's your CRM? What does your code look like? What's your nomenclature? What's your grants? What's your finances? What's your business plan, marketing, social media? That's just, so if you can then see it, you're in the position to then walk into that next executive meeting and you can then see, okay, guys, what's happening here? What's happening there? And when you do get the reports, you're in the position to see inconsistencies and offer suggestions and say, wait a minute, this isn't working. What's going on here? Or why is this staff member sick? What's happening? Duty of care. What's going on? Is she okay? Do they need help? Are they sick? Like, you're in the position to see your business from the top down. Sorry, I just go on a rant.
No. And I love it. I love it. I want people to hear your passion, but I also want to let them hear the possibilities, because you help people with big brains with lots happening, but you also have that yourself.
Oh,
And so
thank
the
you.
possibilities of how you can step in and help. I know that earlier this year, I'm like, was it this year? Time goes by. It could have been in 2023 in November. But we were in a mastermind with Dean, and we were talking big brains of how we can actually help and how we can support our own businesses. What is that thing? What is that action that we need? And it was really, really fascinating that most of us, what we needed, um, Brendan Bouchard and Dean shared, is that we need an executive assistant because we have big dreams and we have this. And everybody said, and where do I find one? How do I have this? But what you're doing is you don't have to work for me full time. You don't have to leave your other business to create an impact in my business. You actually are a tool, you're a partner in my business. So I really, really love that.
And that's exactly it, because it's in the ebb and flow that we grow. Oh, that rhymed.
So I'm just going to highlight this that just came through from from YouTube. And so we have somebody watching. I'm not for sure who it is, but that's okay. Oh, and then we have a Nicole. And so it is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant watching this. And now we'll just feature this one.
I would love to mind map with Tony Robbins or Brendan Bouchard just to see. It would be crazy.
It would be. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now, we're finalizing it. We're into our last question, and you just led me into it perfectly. So Liz, what is that thing that you maybe haven't even admitted to yourself? And it is a big dream, it is a big goal, and it is something that you're claiming right here in front of all of us. You might have shared it with people, you may not have. It's totally up to you what you feel comfortable in sharing, but let's declare a big goal together.
My big goal is to open. Do you want me to share it? My big goal?
Yeah, keep going.
My big goal is to open orphanages around the world. I want to inspire children. I want to give them a different compendium, a different tools. I want to give them love. I want to teach the teacher to teach the kids so that they're tomorrow's leaders. And if you teach children and you give them the love, help them to grow. You know, love has no color. We're all shades of skin. And when you see kids playing, they don't discriminate. They don't even see shape, size. They just want to connect. And that's my dream, is to help people to connect, especially children, to love unconditionally, to be entrepreneur kids. I want to give them tools to learn how to be entrepreneurs. I want to teach them financial literacy. I want to teach them how to eat well. I want to teach them how to spread and look after animals and make the world a better place. So that's my big dream.
My goodness, I love it. I love it that you said it here so that we can be a part of that dream, so we can hold your dream with you, and that anyone
God willing,
connected to that dream, because I know we have a lot of givers in our community. If anybody else that feels connected to that dream and wants to be a part of it, I hope that you reach out to Liz. We've just popped up on the very top. If you're here with us live, you just click on those buttons and they take you to all of those links inside of my Empowering You community, to reach out to Liz directly, to find the YouTube channel so that you can watch other people's messages. And if you're not here with us live, but you're seeing this live stream somewhere, we'll pop those links in for you so that you can reach out. Liz, any final words for our audience?
I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful for the people I'm meeting and connecting with. And we're 8 billion people, but we're 8 billion stories, or 9 billion, or however many. We're all, each of us could be a feature film if we really think about it. We've all got a story to share and idea to bring forth, and let's just be awesome. let's just be amazing. Let's just be us. Unique, crazy, quirky. Let's just be us.
Oh my goodness, Liz, it's been so much fun and I can't believe it's time. We have not even talked about a project we're doing together. And I think that that might be sequel number 2, or maybe we bring Joyanne, or maybe we bring all of the people that are over there
Oh
in that
wow.
and come over here and have a conversation. So if any
The
of you guys,
trailer's coming out this week, so I'm
oh my
excited for that.
goodness. So I have to just lead into this. Liz told us earlier that she's working in film for quite some time and she's actually building us a documentary. And so the trailer to the documentary is coming out, she says, this week. So if she says it's coming out, I can't wait for them to give us the go ahead so that we can share it with everyone. And I
So
hope that
exciting.
everyone that's involved in that project together gets on board and helps spread the word of this, because we're here to do big things. We're here to do great things, and we're here to make a difference in the world. Thank you, Liz. It's been such an honor.
Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you to everyone, and hello from Sydney, Australia. Thank you.